Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share 12 things that I wish I had known about planners as a beginner. I will, as per usual, put links in the description to everything I talk about today in case you'd like to get something for yourself or a gift for someone else. So my most important thing to know is that paper matters. Do your homework to choose a planner which will work with a wide array of pens and markers, or at least your favorites. You can up your chances with pigment-based pens and markers, like these Tombow Mono drawing pens. Anything that just kind of sits on top of the page and doesn't sink way down into it and bleed through to the next page, so you see your entry from Thursday on next Tuesday. That's never good. But you can also up your chances by getting something that has really good paper to start with. And one good example of that is Midori. So this is a Traveler's Company insert. This is what I use for my main functional weekly planning. And it's just an insert that goes inside a traveler's notebook. And I have many videos about that, so you can go back and see my setup and my supplies. But this paper that's inside a Traveler's Company insert is from Midori, and it just takes everything I throw at it. I can watercolor on it. I can use my brush pens. I can use all my regular gel pens and rollerball pens and fountain pens and all that good stuff. This paper just takes so many supplies. So it's really versatile, and I feel like I can have fun with it in addition to my planning. I have certainly also picked up planners that are expensive and cheap. It doesn't matter whether they're from the drugstore or from some frou-frou kind of stationery shop. In any case, I've picked up some that, anything bleeds through. I mean, I write it with a pencil and you can see it on the other side. So number one, paper matters. Make sure you do your homework and choose a planner with paper that will work for you. Okay, so my second point is that not all planners make sense. Just because somebody has designed a planner and put it out to market doesn't mean that there's any rhyme or reason to it. I am frustrated by planners which have the monthly layouts beginning on a Sunday and the weeklies beginning on a Monday. I'm perplexed. Why aren't they consistent? So be sure to look through the whole book to see if all of the sections meet your needs. And if you get to a point where you can't find that, you can certainly piece together a system that works for you. You can do a binder system, or you can do a traveler's notebook system. And in either case, you could go to, for example, Etsy, where you can get digital printables, which can be printed either at home or at a place like Staples or the UPS store. Or you can search by pre-printed inserts that are already made for you and shipped to you. And in either case, you're supporting a small business owner, a small business designer, and that's always a good thing. So make sure that all the pieces work for you, even if you have to piece them together. Number three, I am a vertical girl. I'm short, but I'm a vertical planner girl. But many of you are horizontal and others like blocks, and some of you even like circles. I have seen circle planners. The suggestion here is try making sample layouts in a cheap notebook or on some office supply paper just to see how your own brain is wired. So for example, this is a Hobonichi Techo cousin with the vertical layout that I personally prefer. I started using vertical layouts in about 2017 and I have not looked back. I really like the way that everything is nice, neat, orderly, and in one line. It's very helpful to me. And I like how with vertical layouts, you almost always have an area either on the left or on the right that is an empty column that you can use for your weekly to-do list or like a little mini bullet journal. That's awesome. So vertical is good for me. But a lot of people also like that horizontal look. So you can have horizontal that's spread across 2 pages like this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with some notes areas. You can also have horizontal layouts where they're all on one side of the page, like a Hobonichi Weeks, like this, and then you have a notes area on the right. There are just so many formats. And before you spend some money on one, what you can do is take a look at that format, sketch it out on a piece of paper, and pretend you're planning, or make a couple pages of it and use it for a couple weeks and see how that works for you. Or make one of these and one of these and one of that wacky circle configuration and figure out which one just resonates best with you and the way that your brain likes to see the week or the month or the day laid out. So experiment. But if you're vertical like me, I recommend Inamio, the Hobonichi Techo Cousin, the Jibun Techo series, and of course the Midori Travelers Company, which I use, which is like this for undated, and then they also have a dated version. Point number 4, decide how important weekends are in your planning. Many popular planners do this thing where they go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are split with a line like this. Or in the vertical style, they will go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday will be like this much and Sunday like this much. That works for some people. That might be nice if you are only using it for work and you want to focus on Monday through Friday. I get it. But I personally have a lot of stuff happening on the weekends, and I prefer Saturday and Sunday to have their own spacious columns. So take that into consideration and decide how important the weekend is to you, because I would wager to say a good 70% of planners on the market do not give you a full day for Saturday and a full day for Sunday. Another consideration, this is number 5, 12 things I wish I had known about planning. I wish I had considered the weight factor. I started out when I decided I wanted to have a nice paper planner with that vertical column. I decided to start out with a Hobonichi Techo Cousin. A full year weighs 16 ounces. That's a whole pound, and it doesn't sound like much until it's in your tote bag every day, everywhere you go. It really does add up, especially if you start adding things like stickers and you turn it into a memory journal and you paint in it and you add photographs and things like that. It's going to get even heavier. So if you still want this idea, but you're going to need to carry it everywhere, consider the Hobonichi Avec. Hobonichi Cousin Avec is only half the year at a time. You're carrying January through June, and then you switch it out and carry July through December, and that only weighs 8 ounces. Or you can go for something like a traveler's notebook insert and take it out of this whole big system and just carry the little insert around. The Midori Travelers Company weekly inserts that cover, I think, 26 weeks only weigh 3 ounces. So think about where this is going to go. Think about whether it's going to sit on your desk 24/7 or if it's going to go with you 24/7, and consider the weight that you're willing to accept. Number 6, planners do not have to start on January 1st. Nope, they don't. Now, a lot of people love that. They like that fresh start, New Year's resolutions, new organization. Great. That's wonderful. That's why most planners start on January 1st. However, there are 3 different ways that you can get planners that start at other times. The first one is academic planners. They're also sometimes called mid-year planners. These are a thing. My brain works on an August to July view because I have spent so much of my life in school. I like mid-year start planners. Inamio makes a good one. So does, this is Yamamuda. These are like under $10 on Amazon. And they go Monday through Sunday. They also have stuff in the front like contacts, and then they also have monthly pages as well, and they have some notes areas at the back. They're great for students. And this one that I have as a sample went, I think it is, July 2023, and this one went through June 2024, for example. Sometimes you can also find them where they'll go like June 2024 all the way through December of the next calendar year to give you 18 months. So lots of options there. Erin Condren is known for designing for teachers. So that company has a lot of mid-year start planners, and also Gallery Leather has a lot of academic options as well. So I'll put links to all those down below in a section called Academic Planners. You can also be even more divergent from a January 1st start. Hobonichi offers an April start. So that's one option if you'd like to start the year in the spring along with the plants and the baby animals. And then of course we have the concept of the undated planner. So Midori Traveler's Company, which I've already shown you a couple times here, offers it in both vertical and horizontal layouts. So this is the 018 from Traveler's Company. The 019 has that kind of Hobonichi week style where it goes horizontal on the left, Monday through Sunday, and then on the right you can make all your notes. But in either case, it is undated, and you can just pop in the dates. So really, you can just use a nice brush pen. You can make them nice and bold, make them easy to see, or you can make it colorful. Each month could be a different color. Have fun with how you set up your undated planner. But the benefit is that if you want to start on Monday, August 12th, go for it. Or maybe you'd like to start every year on your birthday. How much fun would that be? Not January 1st, not when school starts. Make it when your birthday is and call that the beginning of the year. All right, point number 7, rounded corners hold up longer and they don't poke you like square corners do. So this is a Hobonichi Techo Cousin Han, and it does have a rounded corner, at least on the cover itself. If you get something that is hard cover and square, of course you can't change that, but if you get a soft cover, like this is the Hobonichi Techo Cousin Avec, and it's a little bit rounded, but if I wanted it more rounded, I could use a corner rounder on this. Same with the inserts. This is the Traveler's Company one I've been talking about. That comes with a square corner. I made it round myself. So this paper cutter is from Carl, C-A-R-L, and they're made to work with cardstock specifically, or like 4 or 5 pieces of paper together, depending on the thickness. They do not like just one little piece of paper. Don't do that. But cardstock, covers like this, or a couple pieces at a time, they're really great. I have had this one for over 20 years, and it is still functioning perfectly. If it jams, you just take like a little screwdriver and pop it, and it'll pop it back out. They're just a really good value, and I have rounded so many corners of so many notebooks with this little gadget. So I'll put a link in the description to it. But yeah, not only do they not attack you in your tote bag like these sharp corners, but rounded corners, the paper tends to wear better. It doesn't like pop up, it doesn't get weirdly creased. I'm a rounded corner fan. Number 8, correction tape is your friend, and I swear by Tombow Mono, which has not changed in at least 20 years. It is a running joke on this channel that I keep them in my gym bag, literally my gym bag, because there's a reading area in my gym, and sometimes I sit and journal, and I gotta have my correction tape. I just don't leave home without it. You know that that's a running joke on this channel if you've been here before and you've been here a lot. And if you're in that situation, thank you for coming back. It's nice to see you again. If you're new here and this is your first time about hearing my Tombow Mono correction tape in my gym bag, then welcome. I'm glad you're here. Please take the time, if you'd like, to introduce yourself in the comments section. Tell us what planner you're using, what's working best for you. All right, anyway, let's talk more about the correction tape, because really it's what makes me look perfect even when I'm not. So this is a Hobonichi Techo Cousin Han with the Tomoe River S by Sanzen paper, and the correction tape from Tombow Mono is exactly the same color as the paper. You cannot see it at all, not even a little bit. On paper that's a little bit more ivory, you're going to see a little bit more of a white line, but it still seems to blend in really well with most of my notebooks. It works especially well on Stalogy. It's exactly the color of the paper. So let me show you how smoothly it rolls, like this, and then let's write over it, Uniball Signo over Tombow Mono correction. See how smooth and easy that was? There you go. So Tombow Mono correction tape. Never leave home without it. I will put a link to that in the description so that you can get some for yourself. And if you'd like to put them next to your bed and on your desk and in your kitchen and in your purse the way that I do, they do come in sets of like 4 or 12 or even like 20. There might even be a set of 50 if you want to give one to all your friends. All right, I am not sponsored by Tombow, by the way. I just really like those. Number 9, there is a happy medium between purely functional planning with no illustrations at all and a full-on happy planner that is so full of stickers that you don't have room for your tasks. So I personally like to doodle the weather. I like to use calligraphy. I like to pop in a few stickers just to add some color and provide a visual cue for the season, but I don't like to overload my planner with stickers. So here's just a quick example. I have talked about this in several other Plan With Me videos. You can go back and take a look at those. But what I do in a spread like this for the week, I usually doodle the weather as it happens. So, you know, if we have a tornado warning, I'm drawing a tornado. If we have sunshine, I draw a great big sunshine. And that goes across the top in these squares. That lends a little bit of visual interest. Then I have stickers, and the one that I use the most, the set that is always in here, is the Paper House Life Organized Seasonal Sticker Book. I talk about this so much that I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it. I wrote number 4 because I'm on my 4th book of these. This first page really gives you an idea of what the whole thing is about. It's watercolor illustrations, some with gold, for every major holiday, every season, every kind of just feeling, even into, for example, even generic things like birthdays. They're all in here. So those are from Paper House, and there's a link in the description to Paper House's website where there is a coupon code. And they also have them on Amazon, and I recommend shopping at both places to see which one has the best deal at that time, because they do fluctuate. But yeah, a couple of stickers just like this. This is starting off the month of September. These are both from the Paper House Life Organized Sticker Book. September, and then just a pretty branch like that. That's it. That's all I do. Another thing you can do to kind of jazz up your planner, even if you don't want to fill it with stickers to the point there's no room to write, tip in little things. I painted this, I think around Valentine's Day, and it's just worked as a nice little bookmark that I can place in here. I have my tabs from Avery. They're Avery repositionable tabs, and they go on kind of just like a Post-it note, and they pop right off. And you can write on them if you'd like. I don't, because I have a color-coded system, but you can write on them. So I have my tabs as bookmarks, but sometimes it's nice just quickly to bookmark a page. And so, you know, paint something, be creative, and that adds some color without cluttering up your page. All right, so that's my happy medium. I can't have a page that is completely just black writing, but I also don't want it to look like there's more stickers than planning, if that makes sense. Find your happy place within that spectrum. Number 10, you do not have to keep a planner and a scrapbook. With the right layout, you can forward plan, and then you can go back after each day or week and micro journal about what you did. So, for example here, this is that Hobonichi Techo cousin again. I tend to, like I said, sketch the weather, have my to-do list, major items. I have stuff going on throughout the week. I've got a dentist appointment on Friday. I've got a football game to attend on Saturday, for example. Then what I like to do is sit down on Sunday evenings and go back through the week. And inevitably at that point, there's some empty spaces in here. There's some area at the bottom I haven't used. There's my to-do list wasn't that long that week, and there's a section over here that hasn't been used. So I'll do some micro journaling. I'll talk about what I actually did, or I'll get out watercolors and kind of illustrate something especially fun that we did that week. I use a lot of hand lettering, and that kind of makes things pop. Maybe there's a quote, an inside joke kind of thing that just summed up the week, and I'll write that in. So I use my planner as both a current and forward planner and memory keeping. And in something like the Hobonichi Cousin, you not only have the weekly pages to do that, but you have daily pages as well. So you could use the weekly as a planner, and you could use the daily as a journal, scrapbook, memory keeping place. So link to this down below as well. Number 11, daily planners can help you practice something consistently. So a Hobonichi Techo Cousin like this with the daily pages, or a Moleskine daily, these can really help you take a practice that you want to adopt and do it consistently. So for example, you could challenge yourself to paint something each day. So whether you are in the monthly spread area at the front like this, or if you're in the weekly spread, or you're in the daily, it doesn't matter how much space you take up with your learning, with your practice, with your art, whatever you're going to do. It doesn't matter which size you use, just the fact that it's dated, that's the key. You could choose to paint something new each day. You could letter one quote, or one Bible verse, or one lyric each day. You could choose a curious, new to you word from the dictionary and write the definition and write a sentence with it in context. And each day would be a different word that you had learned. You could learn about one country each day. Challenge yourself to look up a new country, maybe do them in alphabetical order. Learn about the country, jot some facts about it, draw a little map of what it looks like. Or you could look up an animal each day. Challenge yourself to learn something new about the animal kingdom every day. Or you could write a gratitude journal style entry each day. Just the fact that it's dated will help you keep up with your new practice, and then you'll be really proud of yourself for doing it. So planners don't have to be about dentist appointments. Planners can be about learning. All right. Number 12, we reached the end. Number 12, life is too short to use a planner you don't like, and there is no shame in starting over. Even if you've already placed all your stickers for the entire 12 months, been there, done that. It happened at the beginning of COVID. I had planned out my entire planner for the year. I had put all the stickers in the proper places. Halloween was on Halloween. 4th of July had the fireworks sticker. I had it ready to go. And then COVID hit and everything changed. All the intricate plans I had made for May and June and July and August, poof, gone. And I couldn't stomach it. I didn't want to look at that planner anymore because I had to cross out so many things and white out so many things. So I tossed it and I got a new planner for the way the world changed. And that's okay. And it can be for something big like that, or it can be for something super sad. Maybe that planner is what you used when you were in a relationship and now you're not in the relationship anymore, so you want to change to a different planner system. Or maybe you just don't like the paper. Or maybe you thought you were a vertical girl, but you're really a horizontal person. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Have fun trying out options until you identify your own source of planner piece. And if you've already found it, feel free to share in the comments and tell us what is bringing you joy in your planning system. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about, please put them in the comments section. If I don't know the answer, hopefully someone else will. And definitely like and subscribe and all that jazz so that you can come back and see more planning and journaling and really anything to do with making your paper look pretty. Thanks again. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.